Alrighty, good morning. It's very early in the morning at just 5:28. I couldn't really go to sleep tonight, not for any bad reasons, but I meditated and I feel very at peace now. And I remembered about doing potentially a VOD review or something for Kaiju. Let's see, hopefully my mic is picking my voice up at an okay volume. I'll raise it just a little bit for that. So, before we start, I just wanted to talk a little bit about what it means to be a support. And again, I always end up preaching this because I believe very much in it, but being a support is a lot more than just being a player in the game. When we say that supports have the most important roles and all the power in a team, it's not only for our utility and our ability to heal our teammates and things like that, but supports do just so much more in the background that's really, really important for the dynamic of our team. And so, as such, I figured it would be good to review some good examples of team play and not only your VODs, but my VODs to show what I'm thinking as I'm Lucio, as I'm Ana, as I'm Moira Lucio, any support really. Just so that we can get on the same page more about what supporting is and what supporting isn't. And I don't see anything blatantly wrong so far, so you're doing a very good job already. At least you're playing the heroes and it's super cool and all this crazy stuff, but we'll get into that more later and more nuance. For now, let's get on with the match. So this is your guys' Nepal offense on, what is this, village I think? I forget. I never know the map names. Now in any case, let's look at our composition because, well, it's important to know where our utility is going to be used. Oh yeah, and before this, so I wanted to talk a little bit about supports, and I wanted to say that a lot of people really wring the meaning out of terms like main support, off support, flex support, this support, that support. It doesn't really matter. You play two heroes, two of you are healers, and generally you do your thing, or two of you are supports. But the way that Topaz and I and Durzo and I like to think of these healers is generally as your main support and your main healer. So you generally should be able to point a finger to either one of the players or the characters who are choosing for your supports that game and say, this is my main healer. This is the one who's going to do most of the healing in the fight. And this is my main support. This is the support who carries the most utility compared to the other. So, looking at our composition here, we have Moira Lucio. Now, let's break down some of our abilities. So, Moira has Healing Orb and Damage Orb. She's got Fade to dodge attacks and sort of do things on her own. She's got a passive heal on her left click, which has a resource. And her little right click is Suck or Damage. Now, utility-wise, Moira does a lot of healing. This already makes her a very good candidate to be main healer, not so much main support. Her ultimate Coalescence is also really useful for healing as well, which sort of contributes to her being a main healer. Now, for Lucio has, well, Amp It Up, which can amp up heals for his passive heal ability. And unfortunately, Lucio doesn't have the highest healing output. He makes up for this with the speed part of his kit, which amping speed lets you go really fast. His passive speed boost lets you go quite fast. And his ultimate, which is beat or sound barrier, is really useful as a defensive ultimate, Moira's not so much. So with this in mind, Lucio is going to be our sort of, our main support. So supporting the team with utility, not just healing the team. So I'll do it from your perspective. Right out the gate, I do have a little nitpick here, which is like using speed boost out the gate is cool and it's fun in quick play settings, but I generally don't like to use my speed boost unless it's called for. And the reason for that is Amp It Up is a 12-second cooldown ability, and correct me if I'm wrong, but it's up there. It's greater than 10 seconds, which we have just here. And if we are amping speed from spawn, we're definitely going to get there and get to our first team fight without amp it up if something terrible happens. That's just me being paranoid for my team, but that's the case. So yes, I wanted to say also, before we take the first team fight, looking at our composition a bit. So we are running Orion Zarya, Moira Lucio, Reaper May. And in general, we said that we would like, or us coaches had said that we would like you guys to just hold the point. But this composition is also really good for rushdown sort of playstyles, especially if they are not running a Reinhardt. We can literally walk all over them, and things will get a little bit sloppy on their end, hopefully. So keep that in mind. Generally, we either want to hold the point or hard rush the enemy, but long, drawn-out, sustained fights are not going to be to our advantage. Now, let's go out here nice and slow. Unfortunately, we get hit by that fire strike, and their Ryan now has 16 charge. Not too much of a problem. The only big problem here is that, yes, now we need to switch to speed, which isn't so much of a problem. Who doesn't like getting healed, right? But in this engagement, I would really prefer if we stayed on speed the whole time. Now, I think you might have gotten excited by switching to speed here, or staying on heals the whole time. I think you might have gotten excited here by seeing that Ryan got walled off, but there's no more distance that our team really needs to cover. I mean, Reaper's not at his most effective range, neither is Zarya, I guess, if you could call it that, but there's no need. They'll cover the distance quickly enough compared to Ryan. So we wall off Ryan, we do some good initial damage to him, and now their Lucio is sort of out of position, a little bit. He's still behind their shield, oh thank goodness. Their Reinhardt drops his shield because he doesn't want to get it broken. He swings on you, and this is sort of scary. Generally, you should always try to have Reinhardt in front of you. We just call him the rectangle man because it's what he does. He holds his rectangle and we're safe. So, Splat is in front of you right here. And you're on speed. Splat could really use some heals. In fact, looking at the health bars from team in the top left, it seems that really everybody except for Volatile and Pebs could use a little bit of healing, even if it's just to top them off. We should probably be on healing here. And note now, we've taken this damage, and right now, only just now, has Amp come off of cooldown in the lower right. So, here I advise caution. You slipped in front of your Rhine shield, but it's about at this point that we might have noticed it, and if you wanted to head back, but it doesn't seem like you noticed it. You wanted to go for a big boop on the team. And while I respect it, it's not your job to jeopardize your life on the front line. You have to let people like Splat and Volatile and your Reapers and your Maze and stuff like that, let them take the front. On support, we always say it, but I'll say it a million times again. On support, your first duty is to survive and live as long as you can, or just try not dying. And your second duty is to heal your team. Now, you fade to the back here, and Pebs gives you some care. Now you're amping heals off cooldown, which is good in the situation, but again, if we didn't amp speed from spawn, we would have been in a better place, I think. So, amp is also something that's... Whoa, the texture on his gun is freaking out. Amp is an interesting ability, well, a really cool ability, because of how tactically you have to choose to use it almost all the time. Yeah, we just get some good picks because their Rhine drops his shield and their Brig was out of position. Now we can go on speed boost now that our team is very, very nice and topped off in terms of healing. Now, that was scary from Pebs. You should probably go back on heals. There we go. And stay on heals for a bit because, well, as you can see, the point is here. It's just unlocking now, and they tried to wall us off, but now we can get in. So we're already where we want to be. There's no real hustle here. We see the Reaper on the left. That's sort of a red flag for me. I would not like to try and go past him. And you're aggressing into this Reaper May on the left here, which is very scary to me. I like the fact that you boop them out, but again, I think you let the team do the work for you here. Also, you should be on heals here, just because we're already going where we need to go. And you can see that their Lucio is trying to frontline us, our Reaper and our Guy, just to get them off of our May, who's in cryo. And really, that's not the best idea. If she cryos, she has to commit to that position. That's May's fault if she dies. Now, it doesn't seem like we're really gonna do anything special here. Just take care of the May. There she goes. And we win the fight. Now, you're at just about half your ult. This is good. We're making a good pace, and we get some cleanup here. I'm not really sure about the angle that Splat took here to get the cleanup. That makes me nervous, because if they really wanted to, well, they could try and rush him here from the right side. Because I think our little 3-man offensive of Volatile, Arachnid, and Red Panda came from the right. Well, only Splat came from the left. That worries me. In any case, let's see how we handle this. Because all that we need to do is just boop them back towards spawn and try and get our Reinhardt back safely. Now, I'll also offer you this piece of knowledge. It's not only you who should be making sure that you don't die. Of course, as a support, it's your job to not let other people die generally, or when they don't need to. This is a situation that could easily go sour, like it will if Spot drops his shield any further. So always hang behind your Rhine shield. You can boop from behind there if he needs to drop it or do anything. And as long as you're on speed, your Reinhardt should have that opportunity to go out. So you wall right off of the wall here, and you're already going in front of him a little bit to boop the Lucio into the wall. Now, unfortunately, it doesn't really, nothing happens because of it, but in general, you just want to boop. I think the Rhine had his shield down, maybe. If you can force back more, so just point to the left, or pointing to the right, and booping back the Rhine Zarya Brig back in choke, that's bigger, and that also yields more ult charge than just going for the Lucio here on the left. So, in general, like, is the Lucio gonna kill your Reinhardt? Maybe, with his team. But that front line of these guys who probably should have been booped, the Reinhardt, the Zarya, the Brigida here, they will kill Reinhardt. So you need to boop them back. Or boop them back on a higher priority than just their Lucio. Now, Splat can't peek this here because he's very low. Again, it's good to watch everybody's health bars when you can. We can see them because we're supports. However, it's kind of hard to just always keep your main tanks specifically in mind. Like, how much health does my main tank have? Is he communicating with me that he has this health? Like, can we go in with it, you know? Because right now, your Zarya has started to retreat from the peak, and so has your Reaper. But you're still going in and peeking this stack. Now, they don't have anyone that could kill you immediately, but this could turn out very bad if you end up taking just too much of the wrong damage at the right time. Like a Zarya bomb, and then you get like, I don't know, shot by May, and then Reaper peppers you, and you get whip shot, and suddenly you're dead, and your team is stuck in choke without a Lucio. Now, the Reaper has teleported behind you. Where could he teleport? Well, obviously the answer is up top as it's revealed there, but you should be calling this. Splat is turning his shield around. There's no need to. It seems you're still concerned with farming the point, or farming the choke a little bit for ult charge. So this isn't the worst thing ever, but I think one thing that you could also do is keep some eyes on the Reaper. Because now that's gonna happen. As you can see, he's dove Splat here, like pretty roughly. And I think this could be alleviated if you had been watching him So he takes out our Reaper in the kill feed. About now's when I'd react to it in slow motion here. And in a perfect world, you turn around and you see that, hey, this guy is like trying to go on my Rhine. So maybe at this point we try to boop him in the corner and go on speed for our Reinhardt here, because this is a situation where our Reinhardt's getting dove. And like he's getting bubble, but that bubble can only last for so long. So it's up to us to speed him and get him out of here. Now, unfortunately, I don't know how long you last behind this wall here on speed or on heals, but you should be on speed to help your friend here. And when did we amp? Let's see. So we're peeking in choke. And amp is a very, very, very powerful. It feels like Lucio's heals feel weak, but they're not supposed to feel like burst healing. They're a lot of big sustained healing, and a lot of it. Like, I'm serious, like, please listen when I say that amp does a lot more healing than you think it does. I believe the rate is something like 149 like heals a second or something crazy like that, something absolutely nutty. Like, Lucio's passive heal is just nothing compared to it. It's insane. So you really should save amp for when your team needs it. It's just like speed boost, it's just like your healing amp, and it's just like beat. Like when your team needs it, when we call for it, then you should probably amp heals or amp anything. But it's one of those things. Like right now, Splat's dead in the water a little bit, and in 10 seconds we have the next opportunity to really hard disengage. Now, these guys, their Lucio is just about to get his amp back. Now, they get a grab onto us, but fortunately you've worked up a beat. And we do get it down, but now we should be focused on disengaging from this fight because things are getting sloppy here. They are down a main tank, but I think what's most important here is for us to take this slow, because we wouldn't like this Reaper to get any more room on our Rhine, to get any more ult charge off of him. This Zarya and this Mei, they gotta go too, and especially Brigitte and the Lucio. They all have to go. So what we should be doing is calling back. Now, this is another really important part of your job on Lucio. I'm not gonna make you a shot caller if you don't want to be, but shot calling on Lucio is something that is very powerful, even if you don't do it as much, or even if you do it just a little bit, I mean. And the very basics of Lucio are this. My Reinhardt is getting absolutely creamed in the neutral right now. Splat isn't losing, but he's losing a lot of health on these engages for things that we all could have done better. So we need to call back when he's sort of taking this damage. Now, we opt to invest Shatter. Someone's on point. You kill Brigitte, which is good, I guess. We're on speed going back to point. Cynical Louis. I don't like this situation anymore. Now, both Pebs and you have gone to 1v1 the Zarya Lucio. They might have your number here, I'm not gonna lie. More importantly though, besides this, besides you guys being over here, Volatile really needs health. Like, any help from this Reaper. And Splat has some shields, but it's probably not going to come out in time to save Volatile here. All this is happening. And your Mei is taking the Mei 1v1, winning, mind you, but taking the Mei 1v1 in the front. Now Volatile has already died, unfortunately. But this could have been potentially avoided had you been speeding or healing the tanks. If you're healing the tanks, then you could have booped the Reaper back there. Here the situation is much the same. Nice boop on the Reaper just to keep him away. There's not much he can do. And I like staying on heals here because the enemy is already right where we want them. We don't really need to amp here because, well, the Rhine is outside of point and there's no immediate danger. It's only Lucio on point, and the Zarya, who is probably one of the highest damaging members of their comp, is already gone. Same with Reaper, who's dead too. So there's really no need to amp here. So I'm going to be critiquing a lot of amp timings and things like that, but I don't want to beat a dead horse. I think it's more useful to teach you when is good to amp. And when it's good to amp is in neutral settings like over here in this situation with our tank line. So watching from above, let's see, you guys go. Zarya's getting shot by Mei, Reaper, and a little bit of Lucio there, and she's losing, or she's dying here at least. So if you were here, a good time to amp would be exactly now. You can amp speed to get these guys behind the corner and away from Reaper. Now they should be covered enough to at least, so you want to amp speed first and then switch to heal, because, well, amp just doesn't apply to like, oh, well, you amped speed or you just amped heal. No, you can actually do both by switching. So you can benefit from increasing your speed to pull them behind the corner and then switching to heals to give them the amped heals, which would probably, well, definitely save volatile in this instance here. Now, like, this with the Zarya, like, you can't boop that bubble. Lucio's at full health. He can boop you into her. And Pebs, who's the main healer of your team, is at risk now by taking this duel as well. I don't like this very much. If people try to single you out like this, just boop them and go back to your team, the people who you need to heal, who you need to keep alive, because you'll be safer with them than you will be on your own. See, right now that we've got more time to get on this Zarya, now our Reaper's taking care of her. He heals off of her, like there's really not a lot she can do to win the duel here. Together, with our Reinhardt, our Mei, and our Moira, we can take this Reaper very safely, which we did, which is very nice. Now, I like the boop onto the Rein here. Again, no need to amp, we were already fine, and Pebs is healing us as well. So, Rein charge there, that scared me. Always keep your eyes on the Reins, because these guys are very important. Let's see. Here, if we wanted, we could chase with speed boost. She dies anyway for Red Panda, but when players get better, that Brigitte will try to run a lot more like she cares that she's about to die. So, speeding there, and not amping speed, just switching to speed there, is more than enough to kill her. Now, here's a situation where we could also switch to speed as well, because our tanks, or our entire front line, seems to want to go up here. This appears to be the call. So, as Lucio, it's your job to sort of be the middleman of your team to taxi people to and from. Now, it seems like we're kind of scared to go up here. Ryan put his shield up. There we go, we're on speed now. But our Zarya also needs a taxi, her being in the back and all. Let's see, this guy's emoting. No need to boop him away, you could have just landed a couple headshots on him. Made him think about his decision. Let's see, so we seem to be committing to a fight up here, which is kind of scary. I don't like it very much because they have Death Blossom, they have Beat, they have Shatter, they have Blizzard. And really, like, they have Rally. There's not a lot that we can do to them that they can't do back to us, but harder. Because not only do they have more ults, they have, like, better ones in this close quarters with their Mei ult, with their Death Blossom, and things like that. Now, we wall them off in here, which scares me a little bit. But we seem to be handling it well. We got them there. Okay. Now, this is a good speeding situation. I like this because we can sort of handle spawns when we get here. Okay, there you go, you amped again. So there's no need to rush back to point. Like, this Zarya probably couldn't cap anyway, and the fact that Zarya is separating herself from her team, so this, because she died like just now, she's gonna spawn again very, very late. They're not going to even be able to get a grab by the end of the game probably with that sort of play, and either they have to all wait to speed boost the Zarya back, or they have to well, try and engage without her. And we see how this goes as we take an early grab here. We force Beat with it, we block Shatter, and Splat becomes a Manimal again. our Reaper pops off. And here there's really not much more to do. The fight turned weird and sloppy. There's a Lucio Reaper on the point. Almost gave him a hat to assert dominance. And yeah, Cynical Louis. This is the face of a man who threw the last fight by running away like that. You just want to die fast when another team rushes you like that, because they will stagger you for every second that they can get out of you. That's what you see very commonly with divas, is staggering them so that they'll be fighting 6v5 for the next fight. Oh my. It's very fast vertical flicks. So, this point. Let's see, are we making changes to our composition? Yes, we are. And you're going to be Baptiste for this. Cha-ching. Oh, cha-ching. There we go. Let's pretend I timed it right. So, now with this comp, we have to think about what we're going to do. So, again, as supports, we generally have... Supports are actually, I don't know if you know this, but Topaz told me this, and I totally forgot about it. That actually most shot callers professionally in Overwatch happen to be like supports. And this makes total sense, because as we know, supports we fight from the back all the way to the front line. And so we have the greatest vision of the battle. We have the most information that we can probably see with our eyes here. The important part is how we sort of manage that information, and we'll be talking about this as our VOD review continues. So, again, with our comp here, you're Baptiste. We're running Baptiste Zen. Now, we won't talk too much about how this comp is supposed to operate at a machine in a perfect world and stuff like that, but in general, we have an Orisa Sigma. Are we going to be brawling them, or do we want to brawl them? Not so much. Orisa Sig is just like poke comp, as we would say. Now we have a Reaper and we have a Hanzo. The Reaper is utility for if they come close. If they try to force the Reinhardt like they might here, then we have the tools to effectively damage him. The Hanzo is more for long range as well. I believe we asked for a McCree as well. There we go, yes. So McCree instead of Reaper. And you might feel the need to, like, well, I don't know. Of course it's like, but wait, that's not what you wrote on the sheet. Why are you justifying it? Heroes are sort of a plug-and-play thing. Just like supports, you have different utility, you have different damage outputs, you have different classes, and all of them can work in a very cool way. This is just how metas are formed and stuff like that. In any case, yeah, we could sub them in there, but we chose McCree Hanzo here so that we could poke them from range. Now, Baptiste Zen. Your left click is a gun. It's a 3-round burst, and it does have a little recoil. Your right click, you have 12 healing bullets. Your shift is basically a very small healing amp. It's like a pocket Lucio. And, of course, the fabled immortality field. Now, if you noticed, or, well, I haven't said so, but your role has changed, because you have now gone from... So, what is Zen? Your off healer is Zen, I gave it away. So, you are going to be the main support here, because you have your amp, you have your immortality field, you have your shift, and you do a whole ton of healing. Now, Zen is also... So, Bab Zen is a weird composition, because you guys both are sort of utility heroes, as well as healers. I was going to say you went from being a utility support in the last match as Lucio, when Pebs was Moira, to being the main support. So now you have all the healing, all the big healing cooldowns and keeping us alive, while Pebs is the off support. Or the, the utility with Discord and Transcendence, which is crazy. Now, we'll review Pebs separately. Well, at the end of this, we'll start over and take the fight from Pebs' point of view. But, so what's really important about this as Baptiste is simply just keeping your team alive. Now, we've pulled the Rhine off because he was very silly. Let's see. So what are better spots that we could position if there are any? So, we like burned through some healing already. Let's see why we use so many bullets here. So obviously through these windows, you can see the enemy team doing their thing. Let's see. So you saw some echo blasts through there. You can also infer from this information already that Echo is left, and if you turn and peek this window here, you can see that their team is setting up on point. It's kind of hard to see as well, but they have like a Reinhardt and a Moira and a Lucio as well. So they're really looking to bring the fight to us. Our job as Baptiste is going to, and this is all, just if you turn left. All this free information is available to you if you turn and look. So we start taking some light damage here. I appreciate not using shift yet, because shift is for when more people around you need healing. Again, it's like a Lucio amp, so in a situation like this, I wouldn't shift, because, well, you can do it with your right clicks. Very good job so far. Now you can shift, because again, we've taken some damage, some splash damage from the Echo Blast. So all these people are glowing here. You, McCree, Hanzo, Zen, especially Zen. Zen needs a lot of support, because he's going to be sort of a carry if you play him with Discord. They all get passive healed because of your shift. So a good position here again is to, you can either play this cover to fire onto the point, but you can also hold your exo boots and jump up here. Now you can play out here if you're crazy. If they're running in Orisa, they pull you and they probably eat you here. But if you don't want this to happen, you can play here instead. Now, this little corner here is a great spot to drop a mortality field if your tanks are getting pushed, like you can expect them to with this Rhine comp that they're playing against. It's also just a lot of free, well, a lot of free, nice, easy healing with walls here and floors and all sorts of geometry that is helpful for healing with Baptiste's little, he's got like mini little Pharaoh rockets. So, here, Peb should call that he's low. Good on you for noticing that. Now, another big thing about this comp, you're the main healer now. So it's your job to make sure that people stay comfortable, that they stay frosty in these fights, enough to take the 1v1s that Zen is going to probably have to take. The McCree, the Sigma, the Orisa, everybody. So it's your job to sort of play positions, again, like up top here, that allow you to easily shoot people like him, and everybody here as well. So it's kind of like positioning yourself as Lucy a little bit, where you have max effectiveness. Nice ammo field in the corner here, but it would have been easier from up top. Let's see, and now I'm not so sure about this positioning because, well, these guys have Reinhardt, and even though he's not here yet, the rest of his 4 stack is. And if there's one thing they like, it's brawl. If there's one thing we don't like, especially with a very soft, gentle Zen here, it is brawl. So if they get close on us in this corner, things are going to get really sloppy, really fast. Now, I don't really like playing here again. Zen is leaving, which I like, because Zen needs some space. Wherever Zen goes, you should probably go too, so that you can make sure that he and the DPS are okay wherever they are. It's no need to stay with the tanks so close here. So you shift here, and that's pretty okay, but it only, I think, gets your Orisa. Yeah, only the Orisa here, because you were cut off. If you were playing up here in this corner, your shift would get Orisa and literally everyone here as well if they were taking damage too. Just some food for thought. Now, by this point already, let's see, it's a big pull. It was almost a huge rock. It does a lot of good shield damage, and you're doing damage here too, which is good. At this point, they're coalescing, which is kind of scary for us. It's a bit too late for our tanks to back out now, so what should we do? Well, our ammo field is coming off cooldown in a few. We can't save Splat here. This is unlucky. We don't need to amp Matrix here. Thank goodness. And yeah, they coalesce, rushed us. It's kind of like a trans rush, but more, well, Moira. Now, in any case, let's continue. So, we're coming back here, and we have window. If we're pressing tab, we should see their comp as well, and we can do some basic ult tracking on them already. Their Echo found a lot of value last fight, so she probably has her duplicate. Now, duplicate is going to be a problem for us just because it is. They could duplicate a Reinhardt and literally double brawl us. They could duplicate Zarya and grab us and just do all this nasty stuff. So it's gonna be important to play sort of on the back foot. Be ready to run at any second when they start doing this, and be ready to call for your team to run as well. So things are getting rough here. Oh, that mirror almost gotcha. What's important as well is always to check your flanks as well. So I think you may die here, and oh, well, no harm, no foul, I guess. But again, looking out for your team. So our Reinhardt wants to go this way. He is Rectangle Man. He will block us all the way here, and he'll block in front of us all the way till the world's end, if he could, because he's a nice guy. But he can't watch behind him all the time. That's our job. So when you're here LOSing them, you can see that they're at full health. The only ones really at risk here are you and Pebs, especially you though. So you have time to either look through these windows for information, try to find something. And if you were looking, or I guess any of the rest of these four too, you would notice that these guys are firing on you from behind. And it's only now that you turn around, and you might have already died if this were, or if they were more coordinated with that, or if they had higher accuracy. Now your shift really helped you out there. Our Rhine is overextending. I'm scared about this. So, how did this happen? Well, let's follow his point of view, because it's not often that we get to do this. So, Splat is taking the fight here. Swinging. Fire striking. It's a completely different game from you, right? These are the things you have to consider as a support. These guys are playing a different game than you. He's got to keep everybody safe. And he's also got to live on his own. Now, this looks quite winnable to him. He's at like 350 health out of his 500. That's a little bit like, what is that ratio? So that's already 80%. Like, I don't know. Let's go with like 70% of his health. I think that's 70. And he's going in here, but he keeps on swinging. And it's a Zarya, and there's an Echo there, and there's a Moira on him. He's dropping quite low. Now, he didn't try to shield here, most likely because he expected that we were with him. This 5-stack here. But it looked winnable, right? So, this is important for us to get into as well. Calling for our tanks to come back a million times until they listen. So I understand that you were watching the flank at this time. You're healing him. Now you need to heal Zarya, and now you can't see him anymore. Now you see that he's going on point. You need to start calling for this guy to come back, because if he doesn't come back, well, this happens, and he dies. So we throw an immortality field here, and it is sort of in the open, but there's not many people here to really pressure it yet, so you will get some value out of this. You're going to shift here because it's probably good. Now you need some self-healing too. This is on Pebs to care for you, but he's currently watching Volatile. Now this is nice and all. Oh, you're so close to the position. Ah, that's unlucky. You just fall onto Tracer's pulse bomb. Let's see, in this fight, Ryan has freshly died. Again, we need to call. How did this happen? Let's see. So, the tanks are already way out there. This is a big red flag. Now, I don't really know how they got out here, and I don't know why they're taking this fight, but what's really important is that you have to at least say, like, hey, guys, we need to come back, or we need to wait. But the one thing we can't do is going to be the one thing we're about to do. Is going to be to try and make it. So these guys are sustaining, and they're doing it pretty well up until literally the point when you reach them. Now you guys have no tanks, and they're ready to engage on you. So frontlining here is unfortunately, again, not the play. What we need to do is just walk back. Just stay in spawn until our tanks come back. There's no harm in doing that, because you haven't died. But now you've fed the tracer ult charge a little bit, and well, that's just a big uncomfortable situation. So we're trying to trance to get to point faster, and that's ill-advised at best. Our team gets grabbed on the left, but we sort of go right. I guess you were trying to go for Pebs there. Now, you could take the off angle potentially, but they have DPS like Tracer, they have Lucio, and the Echo, who are all more than willing to come and kill you, so I do not recommend it. It's risky, and I appreciate it, but if you're doing this, you have to have a better angle to look at your team from. And unfortunately, you couldn't get to Volatile quickly enough, and she died. Splat is probably next if you don't immo field him for this Graver here, or whatever is going on. I guess we win the fight though? That's strange. So, I'm glad you didn't use immo field. In any case, so I'm glad you didn't use immo field immediately because, well, I mean, it wouldn't have made much of a difference now, but, oh, you're switching to Lucio? Like, we used trans, which is kind of scary. Like, we used our main healing ability already, which is kind of scary. So now you guys are playing more at Lucio again. Now, I like the swap here. What you're going to want to do is ride this left wall here on Lucio. So what are you getting done on the ground right now? Well, you're jumping around and you're kind of slow and you're trying to boot people, but it's not really working out. And the healing here, it's just not really enough. We would have benefited more a bit from maybe hurting them a bit more, or doing really almost anything else. It was a weird fight from our part. But in general, you want to ride walls and ride them high as often as you can, because it's not often that you have a wall that's this good that's so close to your team. Lucio's heal isn't just a big circle around him though, it's a sphere, a 3D circle. So this means that you can actually heal above and below you. You can heal Pharahs and Annas below you and stuff like that, so while riding, there's really no disadvantage to it. If anything, you gain more information from it by having a bird's eye view of the fight. You can go for crazy boops. You can speed your team in and out because you know what the fight is going. You know where the fight is taking you because you see it all from the sky. This is a big, powerful thing about Lucio positioning. Let's see. Now, I said I'd go back to Pebs. I don't want to make this video too long, but I suppose I should. So, there's not too much to explain because I don't think I've seen you guys play Zenyatta very much before, but know this, Zenyatta is a very utility hero. Zenyatta is a very honest hero, because if you do not practice your aim, if you're not practicing the things that make Zenyatta an efficient fragger, your Jonax, who land all the shots and all the volleys, and they don't land all of them, they just know how to land most of them. So, I forgot what I was saying there. Basically, Zenyatta is almost a glorified DPS. Harmony Orb is something that you can attach to people, and it's very nice as a little go off, be safe. It's nice to heal off people up who just have a little bit of health missing. Discord Orb is very threatening, because if we're focus firing, as Zenyatta, you are probably the shot caller of the team. And if not, you should get to be, because don't you want to see those red guys die? I mean, maybe it's a little raw to say, but like, I just hate those dudes. I dislike all 6 of them. I am not friends with them, and I do not hope to be, unless it's an internal scrim. But even then, I want you to die. Now, to do this, to achieve this, we put Discord on someone, like this tracer, we fire at them, and our McCree, or our friends, our guys in blue, the boys in blue, are able to follow up on them and kill them almost immediately. Now, Zenyatta's damage is why you pick him pretty much. That focus fire is really, really huge. Now, Zen's orbs are, well, really useful little projectiles, because as you can see, the Reinhardt is Discord, and he's got to play this corner now. Now, these guys are exposed, and it's because you put Discord on him that he can't peek and try and face tank this damage, just take the damage as is. So you guys are really threatening. You want to have Discord on Rein as often as you can. Now, there's no point in shooting the Echo if you're not going to hit her, and it's a very forehead thing to say, but let me tell you, it's hard to hit those Echoes, man. I'm a Zen main myself, so like, trust me, it's not easy to hit these targets that are unreliable. So you want to go with somebody that you know you can hit. Reinhardt shield, Zarya, Reinhardt's face, Zarya again. Like, these are the guys who are going to endanger you and your tank line the most by letting their team get close to you. So you got to get them out of your way. Now, you're doing a fantastic job of charging trans quickly, which is nice. But the only thing that I don't like about this is, well, your positioning when you rotated here. There's no need to put yourself in harm's way. Now, there is potential reasons for this to act as bait with your tanks, but it's a very risky strategy, and I wouldn't recommend it unless you know how to do it with at least established comms. I do like your position playing back here, because that means that the Echo can't try to 1v1 you easily, and neither can the Tracer. Your McCree is playing with you as well, so he can peel for you and make you feel safe. Safety is big as Zenyatta, because unfortunately you only have 200 health, and 150 of it are these shields. They regen, but after a certain time being healthy, which is scary. So Fire Strike, you generally want to avoid it when you can. If you see Fire Strike coming, please try and dodge it. It's rough. You also want to try and keep Harmony Orb on your off support, or on your other support, in most times. Right now, Splat is taking some damage, but there's no need to sort of rush this. Your friend Kaiju is about to die, or your Bap is about to die if he takes more damage, which is scary. So you have to be a little bit more aware when you're doing this. Kaiju can heal, like he's the main heals of the team. It's up to you to have your utility. You got to keep this guy up so that he can keep your team up, which is a weird concept. So now we're sort of engaging on this in a weird way, and it can be kind of scary. I wouldn't fault you for transing this here, because, well, they have a Reinhardt who's about to try and hammer down from the ceiling, and your Reinhardt is currently feeding. Now, you could trans, and that would actually be a very good trans to save not only Volatile here, but to actually save Splatinum, because they don't have anti and they have nothing to stop him except maybe booping him. And currently nobody on their team can do that except for a Rein pit. That, and you're guaranteed safety against Shatter here, which is really big. So when you see these opportunities, like your Rein is feeding, and you might call back, but it's also up to you, my friend, to not only do the damage but do the healing. You can save him. You could have saved him, but we didn't. And it's no hard feelings. Just next time, know that you can save that. That's a winnable fight. Unfortunately now, you could have trans this, and that would have ended up a lot more poorly, unfortunately. So in a perfect world, we'll end the thread of possibilities there. In a perfect world, you go after your Rein with the trans and you can revitalize him. You get Volatile on the way, you can come back if you need, if your friends need trans healing from the Echo copying Rein. Now your tank line is alive here and they're feeding. You could trans to them again, but they die too quickly, and we don't do it. Now, I agree with you for not transing there, because we probably wouldn't have had all members near the point in time again. However, it's still something. It's a gesture, you know? No, you should probably top off your buddy here. He's getting nervous. There you go. Let's see. So, now what's up? We say that the plan is to trans to point to get there faster. Please don't trans to point to get there faster. This was a culmination of a missed trans that could have saved things before. And like, don't think of this like I'm saying it's your fault or anything. You didn't know. You're not a Zen player yet. But you can learn to be. So, transing to point is not very good. Because now what? You see that they've used beat, and now there are at least 2 people who want you dead. And they do it. Now your team is without your damage. And they need this damage if they want any hope of retaking. We grab them, and we grab dragon them, and we high noon, and we literally blow almost all of our ults except for Shatter here to ensure that they die. This could have been avoided. Let's see. So there's no point in waiting in spawn unless, there you go, unless you're switching. And now I understand, so Kaiju was switching to Lucio here. At first I thought he just fell off. I would just recommend, so when you guys are going to switch like this, your tanks need to play backup point so you can get to them faster. So not playing mid here, but playing the backup point here by the stairs. So as you guys are walking all the way from spawn, and you're fast with Lucio too, so there's no rush, you can care for these guys here and then push and engage onto the point there. So this isn't going to be a Moira VOD review. This is mostly for the heroes that Kaiju is interested in currently, which is seems to be Zen, the Lucio, the Baptiste, perhaps the Brigitte. So I'll abstain from this. Let's see. So this is the final map here. We're playing Lucio. And this is one of my favorite maps to play Lucio on. It's kind of like Anubis B, because it's got a lot of cool pillars and things for you to go with. Now, our composition here. So we're speed boosting from spawn. This one is, it's okay. We'll get it around the time that the team fight starts, but again, there's really no need. At least in my opinion. There's no rush. Now, our team composition, again, we're running the Rhine Zarya, so that means Brawl generally. We're running the Mei McCree, which means a lot of cool utility with stuns and things like that. Mei has a big offensive sort of thingy with tanks, and McCree obviously is a great duelist on his own. He also has flashbang for peel and all sorts of great stuff. And you have an Ana Lucio as your healing comp. Now, Ana Lucio is kind of crazy because, well, let's do the game again. So basically, who is the main support? Who is the main healer? Ana is your main healer, to answer your question, and you are the main support with utility again. Now you might say that Ana has Sleep Dart and Anti, but Anti can also be used as a healing thing. It's not just utility, or it's not just utility in terms of antiing the opponents, but instead nading your friends. Now this is a good amp, because your friends are low. However, the positioning could be better. You're in the open here, and if you were riding this wall here, so you can generally try and climb around here and stay around this pillar, I would have weaved from here to try and go here, because at least if you're riding around here, or even if you just use the stairs or fall on the stairs here, you're still healing the team and the people who need it, but you're not exposing yourself. Now you need to try and wall ride right, which is crazy. Now, it seems this fight was over before it started. It was a very decisive looking fight. Let's see why. So, when do we first make contact? So there's still 4 seconds to amp by the time your Reinhardt touches the point. So Echo found our McCree really early, which is unlucky. We need to start pulling back. So I appreciate you being on speed, because the call should be to probably let's just take this fight slow and see what's up. Now's the time when, if you're riding walls, you should probably be studying up on their comp, seeing who's who, where's where, and what are the things that I need to protect my front line from. What are the things that I need to protect my back line from, my Ana. So basically your Rhine Zarya, your Ana, those guys are all your immediate priorities as this main support, or as this main support. I try to overassert myself as support. I wish I could do everything, but I can't. Now, yeah, they are your priorities. Unfortunately, we can't protect them as well as we would like to on Lucio. But this is where teamwork comes in, because they've also got to protect themselves. We can't bail them out of everything. So maybe it's a good thing that we died here. In any case, let's see. So we respawn. And oh, I guess we saw Tracer. So yeah, always check spawn and check around for your Ana, because your Ana's got a job to do. She has to look ahead of her and heal targets in front of her. She has to choose with each shot who will live for the next second, hopefully, and who will not get healed for this second when she's healing somebody else. It's kind of a stressful job, so maybe cut her some slack, you know. Watch her. Make sure she's okay. Now, you're here, and there's a problem. There's no big blue rectangle in front of you. You need to back up until Splat's ready to go in. Because right now, he's trying to engage because I think he sees you and he gets inspired or something. He's trying to go in with half health, and it's not really the plan. If we were patient and we took this fight like here, we're waiting here for Splat to make a decision, like where are we going to go, where do we want to go. Again, you have input over this conversation. You can try and rush up these stairs and maybe push out the echo, or maybe you can try and go up these stairs here. Maybe you want to take an engagement from the side here, even though it kind of benefits them or whatever. It's up to you, but either way we have to be decisive and we have to have some good healing before the fight starts, so that our Reinhardt isn't engaging at half health. So we all get dropped here, that's a GG, and next fight. So, again, we should be scouting, because that Tracer could be anywhere. So, we're taxiing our friends back. I like it. But we missed Pebs. That's a very nice shirt you have. So, your Ana is sort of your child in this. Like, you really have to make sure that your Ana is alive so that your tanks can have any hope of surviving this fight. So always make sure that she's sped, that she's here and she's there. It was a weird amp, but I get it. You had to heal for yourself because you weren't sure that Peps is going to heal you immediately, or as soon as you would have liked. Now, this fight is descending into chaos very quickly. Things got sloppy, but we got their Rhine and their Lucio at the cost of our McCree. Now, this Brig on point is a problem. But when you hear the echo duplicate somebody, someone has to find out who it is. And it should probably be you, because again, remember, we have the greatest sightlines of the fight. Now, she happens to be an Ana who's behind us right now, which is really weird. There's also a Tracer behind us. So, we always have to look around and just be aware of our surroundings. You also have to use your ears as well to know that Tracer maybe is blinking around behind you or things like that, or callouts, but we can't let these things go unnoticed or we get double pulse bombed like that. It's really unfortunate. Now, at least we have beat, but we're at 95%. We may not be able to touch. We've got to get on speed and touch the point. And I think I was very worked up about this, but Volatile was on ball. Now, we're committing beat here because we got grabbed. Makes sense. But now we have to sort of iron out how this fight's going to go. And there's not a lot you can do here, I'm going to be honest, because they have a lot of heroes who are very, very good at brawling, and we just lost our Zarya. Your main priority of this fight is just going to be booping people and trying to keep your team alive. So you can see that Pebs is here on a field trip with you, trying to save our Mei, but now our Mei has died. Yeah, it's scary. This has descended into chaos, and it's really not too worthy of analysis. There's not anything really game-breaking that you could do on your own here. So hopefully that's some insight for you on how to play sort of these heroes. It's important to, well, be able to play these heroes because supporting is a crazy, crazy big role. We do a lot. So here's a quick play Nepal that Durzo, Topaz, and I played. And I wanted to show you how I played that point as Lucio. And now granted, we didn't do the same exact thing, but we do similar things. Or I'll show you what I'm thinking as we play. So, a little bit of backstory. Topaz and I have been gaming together for a long time, and we met Durzo from the last team that we coached that he was on, which is very, very nice. I'm a very big fan of everybody's here. We do such great things, especially you guys in the academy team. I'm so happy to teach you guys. In any case, Topaz and I have been playing together for a long time. We used to do smash doubles stuff and all this crazy stuff. We've known each other for years and we play like it. Or at least I try to play like it. So, the relationship between your Ryan and your Lucio is important. We make a statement. You see that we're wearing matching skins. No, I'm kidding. We communicate where we're going and what we need. Not only to Durzo are Ana our main heals, but to me, the main support, the person who's going to keep you in and out of the fight. Now, the only reason that I'm in front of my Reinhardt here is because I'm using cover. I'm flashing in front of this hog so I can boop him, and chances are he won't land his hook. There's really no one else that can pressure me here. So it's a relatively safe little dive in front. Topaz is playing right side, hog wastes hook, and suddenly there's a diva. I'm wall riding, and there's really no need for me to do anything here. I amp because I thought our Genji was getting cooked, and our Ryan generally just could use some healing up front. But I'm amping a little bit more as well to get over to the side that Durzo is playing on, because this right side, so Durzo likes to play around here, this right side of point is very important to me because, well, it's where my friend is. Also now I'm discorded, means I'm getting looked at, I'm getting bombed. Hurt very badly. No problem though. Thankfully my team had me. So I can boop my Roadhog, or their Roadhog in there, he gets antied and slingshotted out of the point. Kinda goofy. So this is something I'd like to show you as well. You see how I'm on the floor here, I'm not riding any walls, and I'm not doing this because I'm too low health. There are a lot of people who could kill me. Hog if he turns left. They have the Ana and the Zen. Ana could be hit scanning me if she sees me, and that's almost certain death. So I'm trying to play a little low here. So now I'm at a suitable health where I feel comfortable peeking a little bit. So I'm going over here, and yeah, now I jumped on the floor because I saw Durzo was low. I think he called for healing, and I heard him. So I turned around as quickly as I could, and well, I bounced on the floor. You can see it took me an extra second to get to him there. I need that efficiency. I need to be riding that wall as soon as possible to get to him. And now you can see that I'm just very gently staying on heal, amping heals so that nothing else terrible happens. They probably won't be taking an engagement or a formal engagement with their weird tank line of Diva Hog. Yeah, so because they're running Diva Hog, I'm using amp more just to make sure that we're doing okay, because like you can see they're running Diva Hog, Zen, Echo, Ash, which to me says we want a lot of damage and we want it fast, we want it focused and in a general area, but we don't want to have to take a weird fight where we're trying to brawl these guys and break their shield. We just want to look for individual picks with the Hog hook, with the Zen, with the Moira, or with the Ash, and with the Echo. So for me, amping is mostly making sure that none of these players gets flamed or dynamited, gets bombed, gets shot by Ana or Diva. I just want to keep these guys in tip-top shape because that could be the difference between life and death. Now, this fella, the Ash, is being a little bit overzealous. So I'm trying to ride these pillars to keep her there, or to keep her up. Right now I'm just hugging this pillar because they can't see me past it. So generally I'm just trying to use my mobility to my advantage here. I'm not too scared about my Genji because I know that Durzo can aim and has him. I'm more concerned about where that Diva is going to go after this. So I'm sticking with Durzo so I can try and keep him safe. He's always in my main rotation, or like my main little cycle here. Here I'm just peeking because it's funny. There's really no reason for me to peek there. I just took some little damage for myself. I amped my Genji here because he was getting hustled by D.Va, and because Topaz was calling for care, he's discorded as you can see, and he needs a lot of health. My amp goes on him too, and watch this guy's health bar go up. So he gets amped and boosted and naded, and suddenly, in just about like a second and a half, he's about ready to re-enter the fight again. That's the power of Discord, I tell you, it's rough. So yeah, I'm rotating around here so that I can get to my Ana if I need to. And the ball's there. I could chase him, but I'm electing not to. He'll be back up these stairs anyway because he needs to escape. So these guys are over here. There's really nothing that I need to do special besides just keep them off the point. And now I'm amping speed here. So you can see that I did the thing that I tried to do the thing that I was telling you, which is to, let's watch this slower. So I'm on speed here, and my Zarya is really low, and my Rein just dropped really low. So I'm amping speed first to get these guys into position. Hopefully Zarya would follow him, and she's trying. So my Rein has already made it to this corner, which is just fantastic, because now I can switch to heals, and the rest of my amp goes to heals, which is very nice. Now our Zarya had bubble, so she lived there on her own, which is pretty nice. Oh my. That's not good. In any case, now I can use this time to sort of just take a field trip with Genji. My tanks are good, I know Durzo's good, my DPS are alright, they haven't complained, so maybe I can just go see this ball or something. Make him feel uncomfortable around my point. I can also pepper the Ashe a little bit. It's nothing really special because she gets shot by our Ashe. But now my guys are low again because I've left them for a little bit. I go over here and I amp, and suddenly they're feeling all better again. So again here, most of my thing is riding pillars. Now I'm scouting. I'm trying to wait outside the point, looking around here and there, top right, top left, checking my angles, all sides of the point to make sure that nobody's going to flank and come up on parts of the map that I don't want them to or I don't expect them to. I'm especially careful of top right because I know that Echo, Ashe, D.Va, and Ball will want to come from there, usually at the same time. So Durzo rotates here, and I am following him. I have beat now. Let's see if I use it. I think this is where they get me on the D.Va bomb. So Echo comes here. There's really nothing new. My Ana falls down, but I decide to help my Reinhardt as she's rotating. Because, well, we used Bob for one, and for two, who's really gonna get us? Like the Echo? I'm pretty sure the Echo dies or is low anyway, and we have 4 here. So this whole team fight here, this little fight skirmish that sort of takes place, well, their supports are getting boomed by our Genji. This is me dropping down from our tank line to go make sure that these guys are okay. Then I elect to just come up here and help my Rein, just so I'm on speed here, chase this D.Va and get her out of mech because she's being a pain. She was also one of the carry players in a previous match. I get booped here by Ball, which is unfortunate, and I die past Rein shield. He gets shattered because my Reinhardt is a good friend. And that's our map. I also wanted to go over some Zen from this as well. It's nothing special really. Let's see. It's from this point. So basically I'm a very aggressive Zenyatta, and it's not just because I like to see the red people fall down, it's because I like to see the blue people win. I like to do my job as a support by doing damage as well, because, well, I am supporting. I'm supporting the cause of the team. So as you can see, I'm doing these weird pre-fires. I saw that Ana was coming there, through the windows. So let's see, 0.5, I can see their team coming there. I fired there. Obviously I know they have a Junkrat, and from here I can see they have an Ana. I know that she's about to come there now because Hanzo also scouted her. So I can pre-fire a little bit, and you can watch her health in the top left or here. Now she's below half health and she hasn't even made it to the point yet. So immediately she self-nades, which is utility her team won't have in trying to crack our Orisa Hog. But she's also scared now that she's discorded. There were some flankers on her tail here. Now, it's not usually my job to take these guys on alone, but I like to. Because if I can make you feel as Zenyatta like you have to escape me, I've already won. Their Ana's just standing there weirdly, so she gets shot some more. She might have to self-nade again. I think she actually did there. Let's see, so she gets hurt here. 10 seconds passes. Blah, 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 blah. She's healing her diva. She gets shot here. Oh no, she's just getting passive by Brig. She eats some more shots there. Gets discorded again. And if she peeks those stairs, she's dead there. Oh, big ante. Nice one. So here's also something else funny. So I'm playing this position here. She drops us with a great ante. I think it actually hit me. Yeah, it hit my feet. And Diva recognizes that I'm the one who needs to go because we fielded this. We used immo field. So she tries to push me out of field. Unfortunately, she doesn't get me. So I'm just calm. I play it cool, and I just return to my point. There's really nothing else I should do. Now, again, I'm taking care of Durzo, or trying to before that ball came. Checking for flanks, because that's what responsible support does. Because my DPS are here, and there. They're a bit busy with their own duels. It's going to be on me to make sure that my Orisa and my other players on my team don't get flanked. So, pull is also really, really big for Zen, especially in this comp. Because basically we're looking to destroy people off of pull. I'm pushing up here just so I could be funny. Topaz wants to hold here. I am not really sure. I like my angle a lot better. Let's see. And yeah, I actually get a pick on the Ana there because she is, again, predictably getting pre-fired. I can see them in the window. Hanzo has Sonic them again. I land some quality shots on the Diva there. They get pulled. I discord the Diva. Someone's sleeping over there, says Durzo. So I say volley. And I end up getting the Ana, even though the Brig was the one sleeping. Now Diva's peeking that. She already catches another volley. These things are important as Zen. And I'm using my Discord here. I wouldn't know that anybody's trying to go back there if it wasn't for Discord being on that hog. It looks like he's going to peek this door. And if he did, I have a surprise waiting for him. I would have gotten trans off of that volley too. But as a Orisa hog, it turns out we don't need to peek their hog. All we need to do is, let's see, all we need to do is pull him. Because I only have to peek when that pull goes over there. I know it's going over there because I know how long pull will take. And all I have to do is right click that, and hog is taking some intense damage already. Now I have my trans at 38%, not the worst timing in the world, not having died. So yeah, again, you can literally just farm not only pain for the opponent, but trans for yourself by following up on pulls. You can see that Ana is now watching the window as well, because she knows that if she walks past that window and my Hanzo has Sonic hit, I will probably get her. So now I take a weird rotation here because these guys are trying to hurt my friends, and I don't like that. Tyler can die. And I choose to trans here because this fight could have gotten a lot more sloppy if this Nano Diva tries to engage on us when we're all low like this. As well, the hog could prove a problem if he comes up close too, and these supports would probably try and take the offensive on this angle with the Junkrat, knowing that we're all low health. So I just try to cure us of low health as quickly as possible so we can position comfortably. Now Topaz calls to rotate here, and I play with Topaz a lot, so I rotate here as well. Durzo didn't. This was uncomfortable for him because it wasn't communicated. It was just something that we did. And we end up getting, well, hog-ulted here into the wall, which is annoying. I didn't really do anything impressive here, so I died to Tyler. So this is just playing Zen as utility, really farming the enemy team for things like this. I'll also show you a little bit of my Rialto Zenyatta. So this is sort of a different style of Zen. Another quick play game, another funny one, where actually Topaz isn't even on the tank line this time. So it's really up to me to just lock down the support line with our damage team, or with our damage comp. So Rialto has interesting sightlines, fun things for Zen. I like it. Again, I could peek early and do fun stuff like this. So now, because they're Sonic, I have all the information I need. So on Zen, I always talk about playing corners. Corners and windows. Windows and corners. You're best friends. So I like doorways as well, because now, like if you watch how I play this corner from here, let's say, oops, where are we? From here, you can actually watch me become able to shoot behind Ryan's shield and unable to shoot here. So I'm peeking. I only peek really when I have to and when I want to get more information on the enemies. So already peeking again, doing my thing, LOSing the team, discording the main tank, which is super funny. Just trying to charge my ult as fast as I can. Just a good excuse for destroying people. Now I open up the angle over here. Just fire some shots. It doesn't really matter if I hit them, it just matters that I get some ult charge or I'm pressuring people with Discord as well. Almost got the Hanzo on the fadeaway too. You can also shoot under the payload here to get lots of charge. It's very funny, especially when their Arisa's not there. Let's see, I think I also ended up getting their BAP here. I watched the right side because I thought Hog might be going there. And again, I can pressure shield not only like being careful of arrows through here and stuff like that, but I can shoot under the payload, which is one set of cover. So to reach me, a bullet has to go under the payload, through this wall, and provided I'm peeking at that given moment, that's when a bullet hits me under this payload when the card is here, making it quite a fun, good position. Now I hear the Echo flying, so I'm looking for her. She lands up top there, I see her, and I should lose this duel. Now Echo is just bad here. I dropped the bag on her because she shouldn't have lost that. As then, it's important to be confident almost 100% of the time, because if I'm not, then well, I probably lose this duel. I halter, or I falter, and I hesitate. But instead, I lock it down. I know that Echo has a hard time aiming down. We really all do. Especially when you're tracking. Aiming down, like beneath you, that's hard. But aiming up for me, when I know where I'm going, that's pretty easy. I know that Echo wants to make it as easy as me, or on her to kill me as possible. So all I have to do is just discord her, dink her and walk under her, kick her. And then drop the bag for style. My Rhine is low. I return my healing orb. The card is still in that good position. I could still just about pressure shield. So now I want to start thinking about rotating back now that Risa has taken my nice little angle here and is using it for herself. I can either kill her or just take it back myself. I like for the second option. That was scary. My Orion dropped his shield and I dropped a lot of health peeking here. So I go back. And I meant to heal my Ana, but I got Topaz instead. There we go. I don't want her having to hide, so I put Harmony Orb on her, and she likes it. So yeah, again, corner play. Really only making myself visible when I have to. Opening up opportunities when I want to. That's a lot of things that define Zen's playstyle. Now, again, I heard Echo over here, and I noticed that she's stuck over here. So I can dispatch her quickly. I drop the bag again. Because just like being a support is being good to your teammates, being a support may include being toxic to your enemies, and not in a weird way. It's mostly for humor. It's all in good fun because it's quick play, and who really cares, right? But getting in your opponent's heads is always a big part of every game that you can play. Now, we dropped Durzo here. We lost Durzo here, which is unlucky. My cart is in its good angle again, so I can be safe peeking that there. Let's see, my Ryan needs Jesus. I just trans here because I freak out trying to keep Ryan alive, but he already dies. And I just go back main. This fight's going to get a lot more sloppy if we don't get some sort of pick. So again here, you can see that I'm now playing with my Ana around this corner here. I made a nice little rotation around this corner just to play this little part here. I see Echo again, my favorite person, now that I can kill her and teabag her pretty consistently. I'm trying to know that she'll engage on me, or on us, so I'm watching for her in the back. It looks like Topaz is looking for her too, but these guys are concerned with winning the frontline fight. These are sort of the responsibilities of Zenyatta, the things that we think about, the things that we carry. My Ana dies. This is unlucky. I just choose to back out because, well, my front line just fell over like cardboard without Ana. And I'm not sure if it was really anything revolutionary after this, but mostly just playing from a long range, playing from a range that is comfortable to me, only peeking when I want to. I hate when people force me to do things that I don't like. And I like doing things that I like to do, which is being cool in Overwatch and dealing damage, but also helping my friends. Fortunately, there's a hero for that. So again, you can see me sort of hugging the walls in general. I'm going for these wide peaks so that we can go here. I wanted to engage and go a lot harder, but unfortunately we didn't. I also acknowledge that I died to the Echo here because I was trying to help us kill this guy and then engage a little more. Echo's on the top right, and I saw her there. It's just unlucky that we didn't engage harder here to try and pressure her out, because now she gets that pick on me from above. So it was a calculated risk, but fortunately not good enough. We couldn't make the play, but we did sustain, which is what matters. So you can take risks like those, but you have to, again, evaluate them carefully. I'm checking high ground to make sure that Echo, my good friend, isn't there anymore. Or is there, so I can try and kill her. My friend needs help over there. But my Ana's got him. And now this is some just good Zen angle play in general. These angles are very, very nice. Again, just like we saw in the one with Ana with pre-firing when I see her. On Nepal, we can shoot through these little pillars here to get a lot of picks. Generally, you want to play closer, but because we're waiting for respawns on our ball, like our main person who we want to touch the cart, it's important that I try and pepper people here. You can see I'm rotating Harmony as well to people who need them. Right now my Ryan needs it again, Topaz needs it, and Ryan needs it again. Just give it to whoever needs it, whoever you think needs it or deserves it. It's not too hard. So yeah, a lot of people have this Fragger syndrome, like Jonak syndrome, they used to call it in Overwatch, where everybody wanted everybody to be Jonak, all the Zens to be Jonak, even though everybody has a different playstyle. Well, I have a different playstyle too. And it's just because I'm comfortable with, I know my limits. This is all I'm trying to say. Know your limits on your heroes. Know what your mechanics allow you to do. And know what you're capable of doing with your mind. How you position. Where you position. Can I kill this person? Is it worth it? Is it worth the risk? Because I often take risky positions because I know I can get away with these things. But you have to think very critically. Can you? In a scrimmage, I probably wouldn't go for these things as much because as much as I like to look cool, like in this clip here, like, there's just no need. I'm just endangering people. Again, I gotta take care of my main support and the Discord, well, what was left of the Orisa. Again, here I'm just looking for picks and stuff like that, looking to heal my Reinhardt up. This becomes an awkward fight because they're just where we didn't expect them. Try to body block the Kree, doesn't work. Here we just need to back up. I'm just trying to create space for my Ana. Kree is up there, he's saved only by MO field. Wow, I didn't notice that. Let's see, on the fadeaway volley, I almost had him. If it weren't for that dang old MO field. But I can get him there because he's sleeping on the job. And again, your job as Zenyatta is to be utility, to allow your Discord to focus people, whether it's who you say or whether it's who your team says. A lot of the time I go for picks on people like the DPS so that we can focus people like the tanks. This is all very important, because when we take off angles like this, Topaz and I communicate that we want to go for this angle, and we score an Ana from it. I can move forward sort of unsafely and take the Zarya. Again, I got hurt by Zarya a little bit in the open here, so I decided I just wanted to play payload, where I can shoot her, but she has a tougher time shooting me. Again, positional play and corner play, very important. Exposing myself to the hog. Not the best idea, but I knew he didn't have hook. Or he wasn't going to hook me immediately. Here's something funny too. If you see Ana's hard scoping, you can pressure them very, very hard. It's very funny because, well, they never really expect it. And really just orb away. And it doesn't matter if I land these either. The fact that I'm landing them is just her not being in position. I am merely calling her out for it. Again, Discord, Harmony Orb and Discord stay on your targets out of LOS, so like if there's a wall between you two, for up to 3 seconds. So Discord will allow me to see 3 seconds into the enemy's position. I tried to read that McCree's with that volley there because I thought he was going from the top here. So when he got Topaz, I hit him once and I discorded him, hit him again, thought I could finish the job by him appearing here with my Discord. But he wasn't, so it was a shame, kind of awkward. He gets nanoed, I can kill him either way. I trans just to keep the ball alive and as a statement. I can also scout hogs safely in my trans. I thought my Ana would nade me here so I could have taken the tire, but she already naded before, which is unlucky. Oh my, there's so many Zen things to say. He's really a very simple hero at his core. You shoot people, you put your little heel elbow on people, and you're just like, good job, you're doing good. Keep it up and stay alive, hopefully. But Discord has a lot of depth to it. You can target either your own targets, like I'm doing here, or you can focus on ones that are more relevant to a team, like a Reinhardt or a main take or something like that. So here I'm just dueling because I know I can. If you're not comfortable with dueling, you don't have to take duels. And in order to not take duels, you can position, or play corners or things like that. Whatever you like. Again, I like to position myself to punish DPS. This is what I like to do. I realize as this fight's breaking out, things are getting ugly and I need to finish it fast. So, I kill the Ana, I go for the Baptiste next fortunately, and I get an Elam on the hog. I dance around a little bit. Easy game. The last one that I have here is just Hollywood. Really not my best Zen game, not the worst, as per usual, but I just want to show you a little more about the playstyle of Zen. Again, no tanks that I know, no support that I know, only DPS. Which is a fun challenge. So, I like to play the middle of point here just because I'm antsy to get my volleys up. I want trans as soon as possible because I can hear that they're running a Rhine comp. They've already told me Durzo and Topaz. Not only that, but they have a Mei. So trans is very important here. We're getting sort of pushed on here, so I put my Discord on the Rhine. And you can see now that he's pressured. He has to shield. Topaz is overclocking on him or whatever it is, or overloading. And we just melt his shield and melt him. Now, they also have a Widow. So identifying my role here in the team fight is really, really big. I want to try and kill the Reinhardt and Tangleline as fast as I can, or contribute to it with Discord, before and without getting picked by the Widow. So, again, what's really important here is just making sure that I'm playing behind shields and using corners. When Orisa's shield is up, I can't expect it to be up forever. Orisa's shields don't last forever. But walls are forever. Walls are beautiful for this reason. Now, pulls again, really good for Zenyatta. I can just follow up on them very, very nicely. And I'm generally always charging a volley behind cover because you never know who could peek you. Dodge the fire strike because it's funny. We get walled, and if they drop it, they're eating a mouthful of Zen Bola. So main, I don't think anything special happened. As soon as Reinhardt drops his shield, I'm looking for the Discord on him. Fortunately, he dies without it. But I can see that Widow's still in choke. Topaz just ate a bullet, and so did Orisa. I think she's eating another one here. So I just don't peek without the help of my friends. There's a Mei behind. No need to panic. It's only a Mei and Mercy, and I have 3 friends here who hopefully won't let me die. Now, I hate Mei. I drop the bag on her. It's just what I do. Just like spraying a lot keeps other players in the game, and disrespecting people flagrantly is my preferred method of keeping my head in the game in quick play. But I always try and stay very focused. So again, I'm trying to burn Ryan's shield as quickly as possible, maybe heal Durzo. Just play cover here because I know that, well, they came from the flank last time. I'll have to watch it this time. So I'm constantly watching the main angle and the flank. Now, I elect not to trans here, because as long as Topaz is playing his position well, he won't die. And he doesn't. Harmony Orb is enough to keep him alive. The rest of my team, as long as, like, the fight is pretty much already over. We got their tanks, and their DPS are sitting weirdly in choke, which is really not useful for them. As long as we position correctly, we're fine. Now we go for the pull on the Widow. Easy. And now, again, you can see that half the time, it's like I don't even know where I'm shooting, because Orisa puts her big, large, thick robot body in front of me. But I can infer from my little red squares there, the Discord fellas, helpers. I know exactly where she is now, and not only do I know where she is as a viable Discord target, I can see through my Orisa and shoot her, but I also, again, know where the Mei is that I've been tracking this whole time. And again, Harmony is on Topaz. I dropped the bag again because I think it's funny. She was really helpless. I was just a victim of bad positioning. I can shoot Ryan and Six Shield here again. Just looking for general headshots and things like that. Again, I'm trying to burn Ryan as quickly as possible in these fights because now he has Shatter. They engage with Mail. Things are looking dire. I probably have to trans now that our main healer is dead if we want to stay in this fight. So I do. I pop it. Try and keep our Hog alive. Try and keep Durzo alive. And then I do something not so good. I really hoped that our team was pushing out of that corner faster and we would have killed them faster. But that was too ambitious of me without the Ana. I instead wanted to drop down here in front of the Sigma and I just got rocked, which is unfortunate. Now point B. Just looking in choke. I like to go over here, jump on the camera, because I can not only poke from here from the stairs fairly safely, I can close that angle just by going up the stairs. And I can reopen a new nice little high ground angle just by playing up here. I can harmony my tanks, I can discord them above most shields. It's pretty nice for me to just grind down their shields and just wear them down. And unfortunately we lose our Risa here, it's a little bit annoying. And I see a Tracer here who is new. Now I wasn't ready to duel the Tracer here because as you can see I'm not properly trying to flick onto her. So I die. It's embarrassing, but it happened. No problem, I'll get her next time. That's what I'm telling myself on Zen. Just keep going. What matters is that I keep going. I'm there for my team. It doesn't matter how I do against the Tracer, if I kill her 1,000,000 times or if she kills me 1,000,000 times. What matters is that I can provide the most utility as I can on this hero. For my team, not just for me. So this is just watching the flank, doing my thing. Take some sharp damage from the left, so I go here. Tracer is here, but my Ana thankfully saves me. Oh boy, that was close. Just going for Tracer again, still really haven't warmed up on her. And now I'm in a predicament. I need to farm trans again because I know they have Shatter. And not only do they have Shatter, they're probably getting close to May ult too. So, I need to get volleys here. Fortunately, they allow me to do it with relative ease. Always look for volley targets on the unprotected, or those who think they're safe. This is also something funny too, because I know Tracers love to go on the flank, specifically this one, onto me and my Ana. She literally walks into the angle and dies. So in real time it looks like this. It's just a gesture. It's just a motion. It happens quick and it's done. On to the next target. Sigma's dead. I'm focusing on the Moira now. This is where your attention should lie, is Zen. Just next. Next, next, next. What should I be doing now? It's a lot of energy, but that's what support requires, especially when you're playing high-level Ana and high-level Lucio and all the supports, really. It's just a game of constraints. How much can I heal versus how much utility can I provide? Or the opposite. Which is where Zen falls. How much utility, damage, discord, all this crazy stuff, transcendence can I provide without healing? Now this is a funny situation here. We're going to lose this fight, it looks like. And we're going to lose it weird because our Ana died early, I think. And she's just out of position generally. So I know that I need to go for a pick here because their Rhine Hog is going to look for a Shatter. And they already blizzarded. So it's no use sticking around there because my Harmony will not out-heal them, and I just use trans. So I go for a pick here on the Moira, because Durzo and I are in the back here. I then elect for a big boy decision-making time, which is Reinhardt. Reinhardt's shield is currently blocking us both from this angle. So what I do is I discord him, and I make him point his shield in this direction, so Durzo can get a clean shot at me. Or can get a clean shot at his back, and his head while he's turning, while I do this. So it's a bit of a playmaking sacrifice. They lose their main tank, which is a really, really big source of protection for them, while Durzo's on the flank. Not only this, but Mei has to reload and dies for it. Now it's time to fix the rest of this fight if I can. I have to reload, and I'm still trying to flick when I'm reloading. Tracer here. I can't let her get that healing because if not she's going to be a real pain in the butt. But she's dodging me. No worries. Just keep shooting at her. Just constantly, when you're flicking, you have some time before each flick, or in between each orb is fired here. There's a lot of downtime to think about where you're going to shoot next. So it doesn't matter if you miss that one, or that one, or that one, or that one, because she's juking. What matters is you just hit the one. If you're missing your Zen shots, don't worry about it. It's all good. You'll hit them. All you have to do is practice. And then here I just go after the Roadhog because I know that he's weak. And then I drop the bag on him because I made a play on the Reinhardt, which is funny. I'm also thankful to my Ana for healing me. And in general here, yep, just playing corners, doing my thing. Playing fun little angles to shoot from. They try and pressure me up here, which is funny, because I do not try to back down. I won't give them that space. You have to work for it. I'm watching my flank there. They have an Echo, and I see that up there. I'm not too concerned about her. It's not my job. I am concerned about what's happening on this flank, though. Now, thank God, I can actually take this Mercy here. After a couple shots, after enough to notice. It wasn't very clean, but I did get the job done. Now I can rotate here and help our Ana from this Tracer. So as long as I'm taking damage instead of the Ana, I try to body block whenever I can. That's good. So yep, here just positioning myself in door frames, all sorts of cubbies and weird angles where I have the advantage over when I want to peek versus when the enemy wants me to peek. Here Tracer has to run, I know it, so I just kill her. And there's really not much more to it. So when you're considering learning these heroes, it's important, again, you see the common denominators, positioning. Where can I be to provide the most utility? Where can I be to provide the most healing? What is my role? Do I provide utility? Do I provide healing? And not only all of those things, but as well, like, how am I playing in this game? What is my play style? What am I beating for? What am I doing this stuff for and that stuff for? And unfortunately, I don't think I have too good an example of any world-breaking, mind-numbing beats, but those are just the basics of support. Heroes that hopefully you have interest in. Let's see when I get a beat here. It's probably good again to see like how am I positioning with regards to my Rhine and stuff like that. Like, it matters to me a lot where my Rhine and I play. So right here I kind of want to climb this wall, check if anybody's top left, nobody's there, I can see they have a Zen, blah 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 blah. We have to engage and we're calling for a speed. So we speed past the Symmetra turrets. Actually, I called for this speed. We don't even have to care about the turrets, we just have to get past them. So we speed past them. Easy as that. I'm riding this wall here. I can use this structure as cover so I can heal. My Rhine needs healing. I gotta get this guy off of him. So I'm on speed and I'm speeding him back. Now you can see that speeding him back actually helps a lot because, well, now he lives. He is getting pushed on rather hard before. So I got my amp back just in time because I generally know when to use the amps. And screw Echo's healing, that's something that somebody else can take care of, not me. What matters to me is that my Reinhardt, my main source of shield and protection for my team, is able to make it back safely. Durzo can get the nano off on him in time. Now, Zarya sort of isolates herself from the fight here. I can safely boop her here. I took like a sloppy little boop trip down here. Topaz is off cleaning up the fight main, which is funny with the shatter. And I can just amp so I can charge just more beat. Here there's really nothing new. Like, whenever my tanks want to move or people have to escape from certain positions, I'm generally on speed. Otherwise I have to be on heal. Otherwise things like that happen. That's too bad. And that, I guess I died again. I'm shooting the Widow up here. Nothing really revolutionary. Breaking these turrets because nobody else will. And now I have beat. Let's see when I use it. I think I might have used it to engage here. Because we can see that their tank line's getting visibly low. I'm checking on my Ana, I see that she's getting hurt, so I wonder what's doing it. It's just a stupid turret. I wanted to boop her off the edge, didn't work. So yeah, nothing revolutionary. I'm not the best Lucio player in the world. I don't really hope to be. I hope to be good, I guess. But these decisions are sort of what we have to make. So I tried to keep my Rhine alive, didn't work. Instead, with the beat, I can just decide to be decisive and charge the Rhine there. Because he's low, and he's someone that I can kill. Like, again, I wanted to keep my Rhine alive through this push because I saw that they were also getting grabbed on point. I didn't know how big it was because I was checking on my Rhine. He died the moment beat went off. And Rhine really could have played that hacked mini, but whatever. Yeah, really nothing revolutionary. Nothing too special. I know Ryan's going to charge, so I don't have to taxi him. Instead, it's more important that I make sure my friends here are doing okay. Now they're all good. You could argue that I didn't need to amp there, and I really didn't. See, even I cannot operate on top efficiency because I'm still not really sure about Lucio stuff yet. Let's see. One of these times we all get dropped, and it's unlucky. Yep. If I was wall riding, I wouldn't have gotten dropped there. I jumped off the wall, but I wasn't high enough. Let's see. Oh yes, this is funny. So Lucio is also an offensive hero. If you're concerned about making plays and being sort of a carry player, well, you have to be aware. So Sombra tries and engages on the back line there, which is funny. I go up here so I could heal the Doomfist. I believe I amp foolishly. Oh no, I don't, I guess. I see Sombra there trying to shoot me, which is annoying. She sends her translocator here, and I'm like, hey, I know that place. So I can just boop her back towards my team, and we get a free kill on their stupid Sombra. Now we can switch to speed and actually start engaging. The Widow's right there. From this, I can boop them right back towards us into our line of sight. Hopefully our Echo gets her. No, I guess not. It looks like she got like nanoed or something. Unfortunately, our Doomfist gets cooked here, but you can see that I'm riding on the wall and I have a bird's eye view of the fight. My arm is horrendous right now. So I can see Topaz, I can see their tank line. I know when I have to boop them back. I know when I have to do the things that make me a good Lucio, like that. Booping them back when we need time, when we're uncomfortable. So now that Nano Ryan is existing, I'm on speed, so we can go and kill Nano Ryan. I see the stupid Sombra, so I kill her translocator. I'm just rotating back and forth here. Nothing too special. I might not be able to save Topaz. Thankfully he gets bubbled. I'm booping Zarya off point because she's a big source of, well, point presence. Not killing her would be hard. I beat here, and I want to see how many times I span here. Here it is. The world's fastest 360. And with the beat, so my team can go in, but I can also frag out myself. So I can go for here, try to relocate, or try to like get the translocator, but I had no ammo. Now I can push back not only Sombra, but her support too. So a lot of these plays are very moment by moment. Opportunities come and go. It's up to us to make them happen and sort of materialize, whether they're in scrims or not, whether they're called or not. But playmaking is all around. It's just built on general awareness. Can I take this risk? Can I get this done in this amount of time, in this situation? If yes, let's do it. But you have to be comfortable with your ability first, and your hero then. So we can talk about that a little later. In general though, I hope this was helpful. I spent a lot of time doing this. This is a very nice way to spend my morning, and maybe I'll take a nice little nap after this. In any case, thank you for watching, hopefully, and sticking through. I'm going to have to timestamp the important parts here about the in-depth review. And yeah, thanks so much for watching again. Hopefully this is of help to you. If this isn't, please let me know, and we can, well, I can try again, because I'll always try again. Oh boy, it's such a pretty rainy morning. In any case, enjoy. Thank you for watching.